Mr. Secretary, first item, please.
This is a notification from the Director of Budget and Finance regarding the awarding of contracts over $25,000 by a process other than a formal competitive bid, and those contracts are required to be announced at the Council's legislative session. There are 3 contracts this evening. DSI Incorporated, $29,925. ASCL Lab, $45,225. And Maryland Industrial Trucks, $180,000.
Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Resolution 43-17 is sponsored by Councilman Crandall. This is a resolution of the council to approve the application by the Dundalk Renaissance Corporation for financing of several Baltimore Regional Neighborhood Initiative projects.
Councilman Crandall?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This resolution is primarily procedural in nature. This is the second part of a 2-year grant process that has already been awarded to the Dundalk Renaissance Corporation. So the council, by affirming this resolution, we would basically be saying that the Dundalk Renaissance Corporation is a real existing organization that is who they say they are. And I do want to thank the county auditor and my office who did some work to make sure that the performance period in the first year was up to snuff and that we should be, in fact, making this endorsement again. So I would appreciate my colleagues' support on the resolution. Thank you.
And that's the motion to...
I'll move it.
I'll second.
There's been a motion to approve, and then there is a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 43-17.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Allman?
Aye.
Mr. Katz?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Resolution 43-17 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Resolution 44-17 is sponsored by all council members. This is a resolution of the council to provide the public with greater access to the legislative branch of county government by live streaming its committee meetings.
Any discussion from the members?
Yes, if I may.
Councilwoman?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This council is always trying to be more transparent in every way that we can. And in the interest of transparency, the council is going to be live streaming the work sessions just as we do the council meetings. And I'd just like to thank my colleagues for signing on and for making this a good resolution. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
I'll move it.
Second. There's been a motion. There's been a second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 44-17.
Mrs. Allman?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mr. Katz?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Resolution 44-17 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Resolution 46-17 is sponsored by Councilman Katz. This is a resolution of the council approving a plan of financing involving the issuance by Penn Industrial Development Authority of its tax-exempt financing on behalf of the Penmar organization.
Councilman Katz?
Yeah, very quickly, I think most of you know that Penmar provides services for developmentally disabled individuals, and this is a loan that refinances the purchase some time ago of group homes both in Pennsylvania and in Baltimore County. There's no fiscal responsibility on the part of the county at all. This is necessary so that they will qualify for this loan, where the rate is going to be 70% of what the normal loan rate is.
Motion to approve? And is there a second? Second. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 46-17.
Mr. Katz?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Allman?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Resolution 46-17 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Resolution 47-17 is sponsored by Councilman Marks. This is a resolution of the council to amend the Perry Hall Commercial Revitalization District.
Councilman Marks?
Thank you. This resolution and the subsequent resolution will modify the commercial revitalization districts in the northeast of my district. In some areas, we are shrinking the area. In other places, we're expanding it. These districts, I think, have a good record, particularly in the Perry Hall area, where we had some significant revitalization. But I think they're timely resolutions, and I urge you to support them.
Is there A motion to approve Resolution 47-17.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 47-17.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Allman?
Aye.
Mr. Kent?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Resolution 47-17 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Resolution 48-17 is sponsored by Councilman Marks. This is a resolution of the council to amend the overlay commercial revitalization district.
Is there a motion to approve Resolution 48-17?
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on Resolution 48-17.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Allman?
Aye.
Mr. Kent?
Aye.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
Resolution 48-17 is passed. Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
This is a request from Councilman Jones that the council confirm his appointment of Ms. Kendra Randall Jolivet Esquire to the Baltimore County Board of Appeals for a 3-year term.
Councilman Jones?
Yes. It gives me great pleasure to introduce and nominate and appoint Kendra Randall Jolivet, you please stand, to the Board of Appeals. She is a practicing attorney here in Baltimore County with 24 years of experience. She started her own law firm back in 2000, so she has 17 years of experience there. And I've come to know her because she has a big heart, and I met her through her philanthropic ventures. She is a co-founder of a Step Closer Foundation, which is a nonprofit which the mission is to take children a little step closer to their destiny through initiatives and events, including She Matters and He Matters conferences. They were presenting here at the Baltimore County African American Heritage Festival. I also had the honor and privilege of helping her fill some bags to give away to children at the Randallstown Community Center. So she is very engaged in the community. She has a very big heart. She is more than qualified for this position, and it is a great pleasure that I nominate her, and I'm very happy that she's willing to serve the county. So thank you very much, and I move the resolution.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion, there's been a second. Any other discussion? Mr. Secretary, please call the roll on the appointment.
Mr. Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Quirk?
Aye.
Mrs. Allman?
Aye.
Mr. Kent?
Aye.
Mr. Marks?
Aye.
Mrs. Bevins?
Aye.
Mr. Crandall?
Aye.
The appointment is approved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Mr. Secretary, next item, please.
Mr. Chairman, there is no further business.
And is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll move it.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. As is customary, anyone who signed up prior to the meeting with the Secretary is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Mr. Secretary, are there any speakers signed up for this evening? There are 2 speakers. And so each of our speakers get up to 3 minutes to speak. Our first speaker, I think, is, if I'm pronouncing it right, Shali Igzi, and then followed by Tony Cristanio. And if you want to come on up into the chamber, and if you want to sit up in the chair up here, watch your step too. Yes, yeah, please sit down. Yeah. And good evening. Thank you for coming in.
Good evening, dear council members. My name is Shu Lixia. I'm the director of Maryland Chinese American Network, Baltimore chapter, MDCAN. This is a nonpartisan, issue-based advocacy group to empower Chinese Americans in Maryland. First of all, I'd like to express my appreciation for your dedication to public service. I came to Baltimore County 15 years ago and have been working at Johns Hopkins University since then. I'm here tonight against Mr. Kamenetz's executive order to make Baltimore County a sanctuary county for illegal aliens. I'm an immigrant from China. I've become a proud U.S. citizen after 10 years waiting in line. Yes, 10 years. It's not easy, but we did it with dignity. My husband and I are legal immigrants who followed every law of this country, and we worked very hard to be contributing members of this great country and this beautiful county, which we call home. The executive order to make Baltimore County a sanctuary county is intended intend to address concerns of illegal immigrants to embrace diversity and inclusion in Baltimore County. Yet, no matter how noble it sounds, this executive order despises law and order, and it will confront illegal immigrants with our nation's law and kidnap public morality. And please don't judge me as a person without a heart just because I'm against this order. I personally know a few undocumented immigrants. I have given materialistic and logistic help to those peoples. Through this experience, I observed what this family really wants and needs is not to be on spotlights under any circumstances. Proposing such an order now is exactly the opposite. While I agree that we should be willing to share our good fortune with the poor and the needy from the world whenever we can as individuals, I take issue with government charity forced upon taxpayers. One of our founder fathers, James Madison, said, "Charity is no part of the legislative duty of the government." If Baltimore becomes a sanctuary county, it will in effect become an advertisement for more and more undocumented immigrants to come to our county. Can we really afford the increased cost associated with such semi-moral high ground? I went to Baltimore County Public School Board of Education meetings, and very often I heard about some schools are overcrowded for more than a decade. Inviting more people or kids to an already overcrowded place is no good for Baltimore residents as well as for undocumented families, because you will not assure an adequate education environment to each child, including those undocumented. And to make things worse, it might cause tension among those diverse groups and to fight for resource and defeat the purpose of diversity and inclusion. So I really think that we should take more serious consideration of such current situations in Baltimore County. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you. Our next speaker and last speaker is Tony Ristano. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, as you can tell from my last name, I am the grandson of immigrants and have a warm spot in my heart for immigrants. This is the proper venue for deciding whether Baltimore County engages with the federal government on Section 287 or not. The wrong venue is having an executive give an order without input from your constituents. I would like to say that I have almost 1,000 petitions, and they're broken out per councilmanic district, and these are from people who oppose Baltimore County being a sanctuary county. And it goes like this, number-wise. Councilman Crandall, 365 petitions supporting you. Mrs. Bevins, 223 petitions from your residents who do not want Baltimore County being a sanctuary county. Mr. Marks, 133 petitions. Mr. Koch, 58 petitions. Mr. Quirk, 107. Mr. Jones, 35, and Mrs. Allman, 62. So understanding human behavior and a climate which kind of regulates human behavior, I'll give you an example. If you punish something, you hopefully would get less of it. So I'll use the example of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It used to be known as Party City during spring break, and that was the climate, Party City. So they put an end to that Party City climate, and now they don't have the problems in Fort Lauderdale that they had 5 or 10 years ago. If Baltimore County is known as a sanctuary county for illegal aliens, undocumented immigrants, then we will get more of them. And that means more spots in the schools and more need for services. So, again, I'm here to testify in favor of Baltimore County joining with the federal government in 287G. Would you like your individual petitions, or do you want me to drop them off tomorrow at the,
Yeah, you can leave them with
Leave 'em
the
here.
Secretary.
Mr. Chairman,
okay.
quick question.
Councilman Katz?
How did you obtain the petitions, or what? Are you with a group, or?
Baltimore County Campaign for Liberty, this is through emails and Facebook.
Any other questions, comments from the council before we adjourn? All right. Meeting is adjourned, and all righty, up to 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Jonathan Hannon. I'm from the Federation for American Immigration Reform, a 501c3 nonprofit with 1.5 million members who are located in Washington, D.C. And, you know, we have a big issue with sanctuary counties and cities that do not comply with ICE detainers, and that's what this county executive order would do. Well, you'll get situations like Sarah Root, who is a young woman, graduated college, 4.0 GPA. The very next day, she's killed by an illegal alien. And the illegal alien, Edwin Mejia, he had been convicted and served a couple of crimes. He had also been deported a number of times, which is a felony. And this killer, Edwin Mejia, is alive and at large in our country today because this happened in a county in Nebraska where they do not honor ICE detainers. Now, I'll talk about Maryland, right? So between January 2014 and September 2015, 18,646 ICE detainer requests across the country were not complied with. In Maryland, it was 220. So that is 220 criminals out on the street here in Maryland. And lest you think that ICE detainers are some arbitrary thing, between January 21, September 30, 2014, 9,300 ICE detainers were not complied with. Well, 6,000 of those had significant prior criminal histories. 58% had felony prior convictions, and this is the key. 2,300 of those 9,300 were arrested 10 months later. So this is not an arbitrary thing. And illegal immigrants are, 3.6 to 3.9% of the population. They make up 11 to 13 million. Well, they commit 13.6% of all the federal crimes, and including an eye-popping 12% of murder sentences, 20% of kidnapping, and 16% of drug trafficking. So it's also a costly thing. In 2010, we did a study of the Maryland budget, and the state paid out $1.8 billion in benefits to illegal aliens, which I have attached here, and they only took in about $118 million. So the shortfall to Maryland was $1.7 billion. And that's significant because that year the state budget was $32 billion, and the total state debt was $40 billion. So you're looking at a pretty decent chunk there with $1.8 billion. So lastly, I would just say, sanctuary cities exist to bring in more and more illegal aliens, but the just powers of consent derive from the consent of the governed in a republic. And the people, through the Constitution, gave the power to set immigration and naturalization limits to the United States Congress, not to the 300 sanctuary jurisdictions in this country. So that is why I think that we should rest content with the most generous immigration system in the world. We have 1 million people coming here legally every year. It's more than second, third, fourth, and fifth place together. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. All righty, well, I wish everybody a safe drive home, and thank you so much for coming. Good night.